All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at a pretty interesting pair, AI and blockchain.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's AI in a nutshell. Now blockchain, that's the one that's sort of often linked to cryptocurrencies, but it's a lot more than just that, right?
It is. And I think a good way to think about it is, imagine like a digital record book.
Okay.
But instead of being kept in one place, it's spread out across lots of computers. So it's what we call decentralized. And the big deal is that once something is added to this record book, it's permanent. Like you can't go back and change it.
It's immutable, right?
Yeah, it's immutable.
Yeah.
It's this, what they call a distributed ledger. And this makes it incredibly secure, very transparent, and really hard to tamper with. So while it's, famous for underpinning things like Bitcoin, it's really a technology with a lot broader potential.
So we've got these two things, they're both impressive on their own, but I think the real interesting stuff starts to happen when you start to combine them. So how does that synergy play out? How do they work together?
Well, the magic really is in how their strengths complement each other.
Okay.
So blockchain, at its core, provides this very secure and trustworthy foundation for data. And, if you think about AI, what makes AI really effective is the data it learns from.
Right.
So if you can feed AI with tamper-proof data from a blockchain environment, well, it gives it this much more reliable basis for making decisions.
Right, because, garbage in, garbage out. If the data that's going into the AI isn't good, the results coming out are not going to be good either. So blockchain provides this sort of reliable data source. How does AI then contribute back to the blockchain world?
Yeah, so blockchain networks, they generate huge amounts of data, right? All these transactions, all these records. And this is where AI really shines. AI algorithms, they can sift through these massive data sets. They can find hidden patterns. They can anticipate future trends.
Right.
And they can make these complex decisions much more efficiently than we as humans ever could. Just as an example, there have been studies that have used AI to analyze Bitcoin's transaction history.
Okay.
And they were able to, using some advanced anomaly detection AI, they were able to identify fraudulent activities that nobody had spotted before.
Wow.
So this really highlights the potential of this synergy.
So imagine, AI models that are not only learning from these huge data sets, but the data sets themselves are verifiably secure, they're transparent because they're on the blockchain. I mean, that's got to be shaking things up in a lot of different industries, right? Where are we seeing this combination really make some waves?
So I think one area that's, if we're connecting this to practical applications, healthcare is a prime example.
Okay.
So blockchain can be used to create this secure and auditable way to store patient records, right? And then you layer on AI, and AI can analyze this anonymized data. It can help doctors make more accurate diagnoses, predict potential health issues earlier, and even personalized treatments.
Right.
So, you really have this added layer of security and intelligence in managing your health information.
So healthcare is a big one. What about finance? We hear a lot about both AI and blockchain in the financial sector.
Absolutely. So AI is already being used in finance to forecast market changes,
Yeah.
to detect suspicious activity.
Right.
And then you combine that with blockchain's ability to make transactions faster, more secure. The potential there is huge for reducing fraud, for increasing transparency in financial dealings, and maybe even making financial services accessible to more people.
So it's not just the digital world though, right? I mean, what about supply chains, the movement of physical goods? How do AI and blockchain fit in there?
Yeah, this is a really tangible example. So blockchain can provide this end-to-end transparency in supply chains.
Okay.
So it can track, every step a product takes from the farm to the store.
Right.
And it creates this permanent record. Now, you layer AI on top of that. AI can analyze this real-time data to track shipments, with incredible accuracy, to predict delays, to optimize inventory levels. It can even be used to verify the authenticity of goods.
Wow.
So, you can imagine knowing exactly where your food comes from, that it hasn't been tampered with, thanks to this combination.
And on the AI side, what are some of the things that we need to be aware of, in terms of this pairing?
Well, for AI, the big thing is making sure that the data it's learning from is good data.
Okay.
It's accurate, it's representative.
Yeah.
So blockchain can help with security, but you still have to make sure that the data itself isn't going to lead to skewed outcomes.
Scalability is something that we hear a lot about with both of these technologies individually. I mean, does that remain a challenge when they're combined?
Absolutely. So blockchain networks can sometimes face limitations in just the sheer number of transactions they can process. And that's obviously a key factor for widespread use. And then similarly, sophisticated AI models often require a lot of computing power, which could be expensive and energy intensive. So finding efficient ways to scale both technologies is definitely an ongoing area of development.
So despite these very real challenges, it sounds like the overall direction here is still pretty promising.
Yeah, I would say undeniably. I mean, while these are important hurdles and it's going to require a lot of innovation and collaboration to overcome them, I think the potential benefits of integrating AI and blockchain, they're truly transformative.
Right.
And if we can successfully navigate these challenges, we could be looking at more secure, more transparent, more efficient systems that really touch almost every aspect of our lives.
So to wrap up our deep dive here, it's clear that the AI and blockchain, while they serve different core functions, they have this really powerful synergy, and their integration, it really has the potential to create some really profound changes across a wide range of industries.
Absolutely. And I think from enhancing the security and the intelligence of our health healthcare systems to streamlining global finance to even strengthening the foundations of our democracies. These are technologies that are poised to reshape our future in some very, very significant ways.
So, considering everything we've talked about today about the intersection of AI and blockchain, what future development are you, the listener, most intrigued by, or maybe even concerned about? It's a dynamic landscape. It's rapidly evolving, and this is really just the beginning of the conversation.
Yeah, definitely lots more to explore.
For sure. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.